guys, and welcome to another Interstellar Modeler. Before moving on to my next project, which is going to be the Battlestar Galactica Raptor, I'd like to spend a few minutes just to share with you some models that I found on a recent trip to Japan. I was there visiting my daughter, and she told me about these stores called Mandarake. These are stores that sell pop culture related items. When you walk into one, you're going to see things like Japanese comic books, graphic novels, cosplay items, Gunpla and Gundams, which are of course are big in Japan. You'll also find vintage toys, and one store in particular sold vintage model kits. Now, I can't guarantee that when you go to one you're going to find the exact same stuff that I found, because these are all out of production. Mandarake does buy models from its customers, so these are all second-hand kits. But they were really in very good condition, at least I found them to be, and there were quite a few to choose from. I didn't have a lot of room in my suitcase, so I had to be selective, and these are the ones that I decided to go with. So let me take a minute just to show them to you. So first one I'm going to share with you here is by Halcyon. I'm not familiar with this company, but they did make a 1/144 scale model of the Narcissus. This of course is the escape pod that you see at the end of Alien. So it comes complete with its original packaging here. You can see it's molded in white. There's a decal sheet and some instructions included. I'm not sure how accurate this model is. I'm generally familiar with the ship from the movie, but I'm just not an expert on it. But it looks to be a fairly accurate, or at least a decent replica of the ship. So this again is a Narcissus from Alien. So next up we have this model here from MI. This is the UFO Sky 1 ship. This is from a series called UFO, and it is a Jerry Anderson production. If you're not familiar with it, it is a show that came before Space 1999. And this is one of the vehicles that's featured in the show. This one is typically hooked up to a submarine. If you're not familiar with this show, it launches from underneath the water and flies into the sky to meet the UFO invaders. We've got also a small replica of the tank that you see on the television show as well. Now, I've been told that this is not an exact replica. There are some inaccuracies here compared to the studio model. But you can see here it comes with a couple other small little models. Again, there's the tank, and there's a model of one of the cars seen on the series as well. So this is the UFO Sky 1 ship. And this model also is associated with the UFO series. This is of the moon base, and I've actually seen this model sold on eBay for about $150, $200, something like that. I always thought it'd be a unique model to have. However, I was never that excited to spend that kind of money on it, but when I found it on the shelf for $40, yep, that's right, $40. I couldn't pass it up. This model comes also with a variety of vehicles that you see on the show, and you can tell by looking at the pictures they're pretty toy-like in appearance, so they're not going to be exact replicas. And as you can see here with this picture, it's also not an exact replica of the studio model, which is pictured here. However, it is a unique kit to have, and you can see as we open it up, there's quite a few pieces to it, all in its original packaging here. And this model will be best displayed and mounted onto a display that looks like the moon, so it'd be quite a project here. Also be fun to light up, as you can imagine. So I'm not going to get to this anytime soon, but I'm going to keep it in my collection for now. Maybe I can get to it by the end of the year. So again, this is the moon base seen on UFO. Now this, of course, is a model that is in current production. This is Boba Fett from Bandai, as you can see. And the reason I purchased this along with these other kits is because I found them on sale for about half off what you'd find them for here in the States. There was an electronics store that happened to have a pretty decent sized model section. They sold Gundams and Gunpla as well as the Star Wars kits, and they were just having a sale on their Star Wars collection. So we have Bandai's Boba Fett here. We've got Slave One. And I found these two other smaller kits from Bandai for under $5. This is the ATM-6 seen at the end of The Last Jedi, and a Star Destroyer. And just some video footage for you here. This is an entrance to one in Osaka. Another one here in Tokyo. This one goes down to a basement level with all these flashing lights. And as you enter, you will see a collection of Japanese graphic novels and comic books. And I apologize for the shakiness of the video here. I was going a little fast, I had to slow this down. But you can see all these Star Wars items here on these shelves. And then some superhero related items here. And next we come upon the entrance of Nakano Broadway. This is a complex that houses a number of different shops. I'm not sure all of them are Mandarake shops, but this next one here is the one that sold vintage model kits, and in this particular display case, it sold models that were priced quite high. I'm assuming because they were all in mint condition. We have quite a variety here. This one is from Captain Scarlet, another Jerry Anderson series. I'm not familiar with this show, but maybe some of you are and recognize these vehicles. And the pricing that you see here, of course, is in yen. Some of them were as high as 150,000 yen. That's about 1,300 US dollars. I'm assuming, again, that's because they're in mint condition and because of how rare they are. And there were a number of different kits from the Thunderbird series. Again, another Jerry Anderson show. And no doubt you recognize Speed Racer. And just some shots of some of the vintage toys I saw. You can recognize here Robbie the Robot. And here we have some vintage cars and rockets. Well, I hope you found that interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me here on my YouTube channel or at interstellarmodeler@gmail.com. As I said, my next project is going to be the Battlestar Galactica Raptor, which is behind me there on my workbench. So I'm getting things sorted out and getting ready to start on that. So I will see you then in that video. Take care.